welcome to the Tales from the Crawlspace podcast with your lovely, illustrious hosts, Jack and Brad. Tonight's performance is An Evening with Issa Tater. Enjoy the show.
It is the show before hiatus today. Welcome to Tales from the Crawlspace Theatre. I am your host, Jack, and my co-host off to the side is Mr. Brad Harvey.
Good evening. This is Leonard Pince-Garnell. Welcoming you to Tales from the Crawlspace Theatre. Brought to you in part by a grant from the Chubb Foundation.
The Chubb Foundation. I'm a big sponsor to the Chubb Foundation.
I am too. I tell you what, man, they do a lot of good work.
Yes, they do. My Chubb does a lot of good work. Yes, it does.
That's
but
right.
This is our last show before the hiatus of February, which gives y'all a chance to catch up on all the past episodes if you're new to the show. Don't judge us on the train wreck of the first season. It's still fun to listen to. But today, we have my Padawan, the legend. You know him. You love him. Mr. Issa Tater.
What is going on, cheesebag and cheesebagettes? I'm so happy to be back on Tales from the Crawlspace with these two awesome hosts.
Oh, it's going to be a good show tonight.
Yeah.
We figured we'd flip the script on you a little bit here. We got a bunch of questions from specially submitted questions from particular handpicked listeners.
Absolutely. Yeah, we wanted to spring this on you as a surprise, but somehow you figured it out. The topic, the main theme of the whole thing was going to be called "What Would Tater Do?"
Yes.
And we reached out to a select panel of cheese bags in order to give us these questions to ask you. It turned into the mother of all Hindenburg wrecks, and it was, I mean, I set up a chat box for it. It took on a life of its own. Everything got crazy. After about the first week, I had a ton of questions, and the whole chat thing was no longer about you, man. And it just totally went off the rails, and
It just turned into a monster.
It turned into a beast. I'm telling you. And
it took on a life of its own. That's for sure.
Yeah, but I had to. It took me 3 hours, Tater, to go through that entire fucking thread to get all these questions. And I was exhausted. I was fatigued. I was flaccid. But I did it. Damn it! It got done. So
thank you for your service for that, Brad. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, no thanks are necessary. All I ask you to do is answer these goddamn questions. So what do you say, Jack? We're going to fire it up now, or you want to?
Actually, I got one thing. I got one thing I want to say. Mr. Therian, cheesebag, awesome cheesebag, Jeff Therian, was kind enough to package up and send me a 4-pack of Sullivan Brewing Company Maltings Irish Ale.
Nice.
And I have to tell you, it's made in Kilkenny, Ireland, which is the same town as my favorite shit, Kilkenny, which I can't fucking find anywhere. And it is delightful. It is absolutely fucking delightful. Kilkenny, Ireland, established 1702. So they've been making this shit for a while, and it's batch brewed and hand packed in Ireland. So
Jack's on his third one, so watch out.
Mr. Jeff Therian, thank you very much. You are fucking a cheese bag extraordinaire.
So it's basically, oh my God, you Kilkenny, you bastards.
You bastards.
Bastards.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, Tater. Okay, here we go. Let's roll this out. Okay. The one and only Russell, Crusade of Contempt Goswiller, asks, I'm curious, how hard is it finding solid customers? I mean, the restriction of 500 yards from every school and daycare really cuts your territory up. How have you overcome this regulation?
Well, Russell, from one legend to another, that's a great question. Generally, I try to stay away from schools, just because they don't treat me too well, as your questions suggest. But I do pretty well.
There's a
He's keeping his technique close to the vest, Jack.
He's got his little ankle bracelet. His ankle bracelet beeps when he gets close.
Or so, I'm definitely known around the bars around town. That's actually where I do a lot of my blue collar worker marketing. It's very easy to strike up conversation with people in the bars. Buy them a drink, buy their wife a drink, and kind of get to talking and give them my business card at the end of the conversation.
Now, by business card, do you mean penis?
Maybe 3 times that might have happened, but that's besides the case.
Those are rookie numbers, Tater.
They still got full price though when I came to do the service.
There you go.
All right, Miss Jenny Wilson has a 3-part question here. If you had a pet,
okay.
If you had a pet parrot, what would you teach it to say?
If I had a pet parrot, what would I teach it to say? I would teach it to say, "Fuck the big O." That would be the first one.
Good one.
Okay.
Good one.
And then
I taught my daughter that on the first.
For my late night, conquest, I would say, "Call you an Uber. I called you an Uber."
All right. If you had to eat one insect, what would you choose?
Ooh, that's a great one. I would probably have to choose one of those. I think it's an African land snail. Those things that are like as big as like a baseball mitt. I feel like I could saute that up and kind of make it into like a delicious meal. Like, look it up online sometime.
No. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I know. I never thought about that, but with some, it's got to be like octopus, where if you cook it, you got to, if you cook it too long, it gets tough. Rubbery. But if you cook it even longer than too long, it gets nice and tender.
Exactly. And as we both know, there's probably not too many things you can really eat in that part of the world, but something about that snail, man, it looks tasty. It looks really tasty.
Oh, man.
Just soak it in buttermilk, roll it in cornmeal, it'd be good.
Fry
it. Fritters. Nothing like some good slug fritters.
Question number 3 from Miss Jenny Wilson. If you were stranded on a deserted island but could only bring 3 things from your work vehicle, what would you choose?
3 things from my work vehicle. Wow, that is a beautiful question. I'm going to start with my hunting/camping knife that also serves as a fire starter. Second thing, I'm going to bring my 100 feet of paracord that I use.
Nice.
I don't typically use it for work, but I just use it in my truck because it's just a very Colorado thing to have, paracord. You never know when you're going to need some really sturdy rope. And then third thing, I want to say my pocket pussy, but I don't think that's going to help me in my survival situation. So I'm going to say the third thing is probably going to be probably my permanent markers, as weird as that is. But if I need to make a sign somehow,
or you have to find a rogue soccer ball.
Yeah, right.
You can snip them just for a little, little break from reality. Just
breathe absolutely deeply. Could start talking to Wilson, the volleyball, and just screaming his name.
Yeah. Jack, before we move on,
yes, sir.
This is actually an outstanding question, and I'd kind of like to know what your answer would be.
Oh, the 3 things from the work truck?
Yeah.
All right, 3 things from the work truck. It would be my little cooler that I always carried because, one, I could tote water from a freshwater source or catch rainwater in it.
Yep, there you go.
Or I could catch little things and keep them in them, like things I'm going to eat, whatever, so they're fresh when I come to eat them. My boots, my wet muck boots would be good.
Yep.
And my little first aid kit.
Excellent. All right.
So Jack's going to survive longer than me. That's what that means.
He's not going to have near the fun that you do.
Well, let's say the box of condoms if there's any locals on the island. Because you don't know what kind of shit you're going to pick up from the Houthis or whatever you call them.
Oh, that's true, too.
it makes your immune system stronger, especially if you're stranded. I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
Well, if you consider eating ass, eating mud pies, I guess there's the same type of thing there. So,
Yeah, exactly. Potato, potato.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So, Madeline Leva asks, customer comes to you with a problem. They have roaches. Sanitation as it usually goes, but your client's husband asks you through gritted teeth, can you service the wife? They've gotten into a crevice. How do you approach?
Oh man. Oh, that is a that is a tough one because my inner workings of my mind knows what I want to say, but professionally, I know that I can't do that. So I would say they're going to have to service that themselves, if I'm being honest. I love to push the envelope, but I definitely know my limits.
Okay. That's great. I know there's a lot of guys out there that don't have limits, so I respect that.
Or I would say I would suggest in truthfully getting a very expensive bidet and then let that do the work for me.
Yeah.
hey, Brad.
The ones they use at the zoo for the elephants would be good. I mean, if they've gotten into that crevice, you need to make sure that they're out of there. And I don't think the gentle rain of a human bidet is going to do the work. So,
well, Brad, before you get to the next one in line, which is all yours, Yoko had one for me to submit. Yoko said, if you are say you're in a bedroom on your hands and knees doing the service, checking under the bed, checking under the nightstand, or whatever, and the customer, a woman who is an absolute 10 with a miniskirt so short she needs 2 hairdos to wear it, walks into the room, and you see a roach skittering up the inside of her thigh towards her crotch, what do you do?
I would absolutely save that image in my mind and then politely tell her, Miss, you had a bug crawl up your leg. Just wanted to let you know.
Well, that's not how the porno that I was imagining started out, but okay.
Brown chicken, wow, wow.
That's
Brown
right.
chicken, brown cow.
Yeah,
I'll squash that roach, baby girl.
I'm detecting a trend here on these questions, and rightly so, because Tater, you are beautiful and angular, and if you were a gas, you would be inert.
Good science, good science, jab, Brad. Love it.
Okay. Well, hey, our old buddy Russell Goswiller decided to pipe in again. Russell. This answer could help out any managers in the group. How did you successfully dispute getting your pest control license? With something so illegal and involving farm animals and alcohol, we're curious how you appealed to the Department of Agriculture to get your license.
Jesus, man. Russell just loves putting me on blast like this. Well, I just talked to them in terms that they could understand. I'd be like, well, my fellow farmers, that goat looked beautiful. That's all I'm going to say. And they passed me right on through. They just said that I can't do pest control on farms. Like, I can do it near schools. I can do it at multi-unit dwellings, but they're like, as soon as it comes to farm animals, they'll be like, we'll bring the shotguns out, little boy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're messing with their money when you're messing with their livestock.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely.
I mean, yeah, I can see their point. I mean, you don't want to. I mean, it's one thing sticking it into crazy, but sticking it into bovine, you got a problem there, buddy.
Yeah.
You ever see the movie Kingpin? You ever watch the movie Kingpin?
Absolutely.
Well, they're competing against those Amish guys in the bowling alleys. So the girl brings out the goat while the Amish dude's bowling, and it kind of distracts him, and he's looking very coy-like at the goat.
Yeah.
Making sure you don't know it.
That part of my movie gets me all hot and heavy, man. That's a good movie.
I imagine so.
Love that movie. All right, Sarah Jessica Suklal, who I had the pleasure of meeting in Myrtle Beach when I went down this past year. She has a couple questions for you. If you were balls deep in someone and you tasered their ass cheek, would you feel it too?
I'm absolutely gonna have to find a woman freaky enough to try it because now I'm intrigued.
Little tangle on the doodads.
I feel
Shouldn't
like
be
you
a
would.
problem.
I feel like
Shouldn't
you
be.
would. If you were holding somebody's hand and they're the one that got shocked by lightning, you'd get shocked too. Granted, a taser's not as strong as lightning, but I feel like you would absolutely feel it.
Yeah, I think you might feel it in your penis. You might just feel it in your penis.
You would. I mean, moist. Water is a poor conductor, and fluids are mostly water. So
Yeah.
I'd say it would transfer right up into your Johnson and right at your ass.
Right
I
in
do
your
have
penis.
a friend that's a little bit more of a masochist than I am, so let me talk to her, and I will get back to her on a definitive answer to that question because now I am curious.
Just let us know if you need a taser for that. I think Jack and I could get you sent one.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Part 2 from Sarah Jessica. How come with all the porn out there in the world, there's no videos of gay midget porn?
She hasn't looked deep enough.
There you go. That's what I said.
That's what I was thinking
exactly
too.
what I said.
I was like,
She
where have you
hasn't
been?
been on the far corners of the internet that I have, man. And most of it's for research purposes. Let me just put that disclaimer. It's definitely for research.
Purely scientific.
Yeah. Oh man. So you were talking about Russell putting you on blast. Well, it didn't end there, buddy. He came up with another one. All
I love
right.
it.
We all want to know, how do you pick up women with the nickname The Dentist? It's cute and a compliment since you earned it because you're always clean, but you also earned it because no one feels a thing. How do you get around this obstacle when talking to women?
God,
Rookies.
Russell, I love you, man. Thank you so much for making my life a lot more difficult tonight. I don't use the dentist. I go through the same multi-step process. If they ask about my work, kind of tell them a little bit about my work. I tell them I'm your friendly neighborhood exterminator. They usually get a giggle out of that. When I do meet them at bars, I do love to dance. And so I tell them, when I'm not at work, I'm called the dancing tater. When I get too drunk, I become mashed taters. And they generally find that funny. I have had a couple instances the next day. We woke up and they forgot my name, which I was pretty offended by. One of them actually called me Nate. She called me fucking Nate, and I was pissed.
Oh man. So then if you skunk out that night, you go home and you're the master tater.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Nail right on the head, Brad.
Now, see, if she called me, then I'd be like, let me finish. Then get the fuck out.
That's right.
Yeah. Somebody get my
Okay.
parent.
Yeah. Russell added a second part to this question, which has absolutely nothing to do with the first. I don't get it. But hey,
Okay.
how do you properly and effectively prepare yourself for the morning knowing you'll never be as good as Critter McCool?
Those are fighting words, Russell.
Ain't they?
Those really are. I have said on the depot
those words were bravely
many
typed.
times that I am saving a fund right now to eventually challenge Critter McCool to 3 rounds in the octagon. Whoever loses has to change their nickname, and I'm dead serious on that. I will always say that publicly, that I'm challenging you, Eric Critter McCool, to a cage match, and whoever wins gets to keep their nickname.
It may be a while for that match to happen because he does have business all 8 years in advance.
Yeah, he's the world renowned leader of stinging insects, and I have multiple cheese bags that would disagree with him.
Hashtag be legend.
I will provide the venue on top of a mountain for that fight. I will. And I'll provide alcohol.
Amazing.
I will provide the woman walking into the ring with the big sign for the rounds.
Ooh,
hell yeah.
She has to be the perfect one. Might I suggest Paula Benedict?
I was just going to say that. Paula, give me a call. Well,
That would really get me in the fighting mood.
Yep.
All right. In the same vein as the last question, Mr. Dan Bird happens to ask, if you were to encounter Shitter McFool in person, how would you kill him?
Oh, that is a great question. I would find out where he lives, and I would put zinc phosphide into his AC system.
Little CP. Fuck, that's
right.
rough, man.
It'd be a
Oh, my
rough way to
God.
go, that's for sure.
God damn.
Yeah. Oh, man. Jason Justman asks, does Tater have kids? If so, are they tater tots?
I have had that joke made to me multiple times, but no, I do not have any kids that I
That you
know
know
about.
That you know about. My mom said
I
the
would-
same thing.
I would love to have kids one day with that special someone. Haven't found them yet, or they haven't found me, so I'm just enjoying life right now.
Hell yeah, buddy.
There you
Enjoy
go.
it. You got Jason's part 2 there?
Yeah, sure. Anyone ever toss your tater salad? If so, explain.
Oh man, the first time it happened, I was not expecting it, but let me tell you, gentlemen, never shut your mind off from different ideas because you don't know if you're going to end up liking it.
You're preaching to the choir. So
it's like I always say when you go to the doctor for your prostate exam, you think you're embarrassed when he tells you to drop your pants. He's going to check your prostate. Just imagine how embarrassed you are when he finally finds it.
Well, your prostate exam is all fun and games until you feel both of his hands grip your shoulders.
That's right. When I asked my doctor said, okay, we're going to check your prostate. I'd like you to take off your pants. And I said, where do you want me to put the pants? He goes, over there on the chair next to mine.
Oh, that's great.
Final question from Jason.
You got 2 more, don't you?
Oh shit, I do, don't I?
Yep.
Damn it. I just missed I just lost my place. Okay. Jack, Phil.
Oh,
I got it. Never mind. Jack, save it. I got it. Question 3. Do you still work for IPM, Idaho Pest Management, or was that a myth from Tales from the Crawl Space?
I don't believe how that myth started. I never worked in Idaho. I've always been in Colorado, so I'm not sure.
Now, I believe this. I believe this is Idaho Tater. I think that's what he was trying to get at.
Oh, he's trying to call me a whore. Is that it?
Jack and I neither screened nor vetted any of these questions. They are coming to you raw and unrefined.
Hey, the only thing that I want to say to his jab at me is a key that unlocks many locks is a very important key. A lock that lets any key unlock them is not a good lock. I'll leave it at that.
I feel like I'm about 2 blunts away from understanding that, Tater. So move on. Okay, final question. Thank Christ. How many taters can a tater tot? It's a tater could take tots.
A tater tot could tate as many taters as a Issa tater could tot. I think
Okay,
some mushrooms to understand that.
Judges, do we accept that? Yes.
Yes.
Accept it.
Since the next ones are yours, Brett, I'm going to skip down to Dave Lyon right below that real quick. All right, Dave Lyon from halfway around the world had a question for you. If eating ass on the first date, do you have a conversation about allergies, i.e., have you eaten peanuts lately? Things like that.
Well, luckily, I was blessed to not be allergic to anything, and I have not encountered the situation where I've had a lady friend that was allergic to peanuts, and I did eat peanuts. I will have to get back to him on that question because the last thing I want to do is send somebody into anaphylactic shock by eating their booty hole. So I'm definitely going to have to do some research on that one and get back to him.
Fair enough.
That would be a bad night. That would be
It wouldn't be my worst night. It wouldn't be my worst night, though.
Especially if their allergies didn't go from anaphylactic shock and more of explosive diarrhea. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be tongue punching someone in the fart box and end up with like swollen lips like a shellfish allergy. There's that
that's
too.
True too.
Right. Yeah. No. I'm definitely going to do some research on that one.
Advantages, Jack.
Just make sure you do it at their house if you're going to do something risky like that. Don't ruin your own sheets.
Oh no. Okay. Well, guess who's asking a question again there, Tater?
Dan Bird?
No, Russell.
Russell, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, because he was made out of questions for this, and he goes, question whatever number comes after the last number I said. With everything you do in pest control and customer interaction, what exactly do you do to overcome the overbearing inner conflict of coming to terms with being a massive douchebag? Is it a hard process, and how do you cope with this? Now, he says this in love, so just keep that in mind.
No, I figured every single one of his questions was made with love. I don't know, man. Everybody has their own views on life. I feel like there might be some things that I might say that comes off as a little cocky, but I feel like to be truly successful in life and this industry, you do need to have confidence in yourself and let your confidence in yourself translate into your work, and people will notice it.
Yeah, that works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure does. I got nothing. Yeah, what can you add to that? I mean, it's true. All right. So, Russell goes on. If you were stuck in a snowstorm, trapped and alone, starving and no rescue in sight, which body part would you eat first, and why is it your penis?
Oh, man. I really, really wouldn't want to eat my penis, because if I ever do get out of that snowstorm, I'm never going to be able to make love again. So I think I'd probably start with my left foot. That's my least dominant foot.
A great movie, by the way.
My left foot, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Christy Brown. Yeah. Daniel Day-Lewis is the man. Okay, Jack,
Yes.
you had an answer for that one. So I'm going to ask it to you, Jack. If you were stuck in a snowstorm, trapped and alone, starving, and no rescue in sight, which body part would you eat first, and why is it your penis?
Well, it can't be my penis, because if I'm stuck in a snowstorm, the shrinkage would be so bad it'd be coming out my butthole, and I'm not eating shit on anything. So, so there's that. The shrinkage would make it look like a little button mushroom you get, and it's kind of hard to, yank that thing out to cut it off to eat it. So
that's right.
I'd start with my gut, because I got enough. When you have a good tool, you got to put a roof on the shed. So
that's right. Yeah,
that's what I'd start with. I wouldn't miss it anyways.
I couldn't eat my penis because I wouldn't have nothing to play with but my nipples.
Amazing.
That mental picture is disturbing.
It's very disturbing.
And you were picturing it
that for later.
Which is even more disturbing.
It is. Don't say nothing. All right. Brandon Norquist, one of the two the Wonder Twins, the dynamic duo, Brandon Norquist, said, I got a question for the Tater. With how much it seems he loves pest control, what does he do off the clock? For real, not just first aid activities. What do you do in your spare time?
I love to go to the gym. Because I do live in the mountainous range, I love to go hiking, camping. Right now, during the winter, it's pretty impossible to do that, but I just got my first pair of snowshoes, so I'm going to try doing that coming up here soon. Love to go skiing, and so those are all the answers that I give my partner's mothers, but what I really like to do is I really like to go to concerts and get really fucked up and dance. That's what I really like to do.
That's pretty fun. I got a couple concerts coming up myself.
There you go.
I love to dance, man. It's great. It's definitely my piece.
With the size I am, I can't dance at a concert, because if I start swinging my arms and legs around, that's liability insurance that I can't afford.
And I won't dance at concerts, because if I do, I'll end up as a GIF on somebody's page. As when you type in "fat man dancing," that would be me popping up.
It'd be Brad doing the truffle shuffle. He'd be doing the truffle shuffle.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Rippling and everything. It's not good.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely love those videos. Definitely get on those videos, Brad, because I will come out to Indiana, Hoosier City, and I will dance with you. Don't you get it twisted.
Ooh.
I'll have to get with you the next time I head out to Indiana.
Anyway. Okay. Madeline Leva asks of the Tater, here's a question. What's Tater's go-to pro tip on warding off burnout during the busy season?
That's actually a good question.
It is.
Yeah, that's really an age-old question. I really think it comes down to make sure you have the best home life you can possibly. It's hard to go through the dog days of summer and you come home to a partner that doesn't respect you or a kid that doesn't listen to you or so there's a multitude of steps that you could do to get your home life taken care of, but I think it comes down to you need to have a good support system if you're going to be in this industry long term. If you're just trying to white knuckle it all summer long and you don't have a lover or a support system, like you're going to get burnout. So I think you definitely need to find hobbies to bring yourself joy outside of pest control. Because don't get me wrong, I'm talking to two legendary lifers of the industry right now, but you guys know that you need to have someone else that keeps you going to get through those really bad days as well.
Without question.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, my thing, as far as in-season burnout, is it doesn't exist for me. And I think it goes to what you were saying, Tater, is I do have that support system. And
exactly.
I can't beat it for anything in the world. I mean, I could come home from a long day in the summertime, a 12-hour day, and I still would have the wife, taking care of things. I come home and, it makes me want to do a little bit more, like gardening and shit like that. It's my thing. And so that's one of the things that I think actually adds to that. I think I get more burnout in the wintertime than I do in the summer, to be honest with you, because I can't do all the things that I like to do outside of the arena of work, like gardening.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is a vast wasteland right now in Indiana because it's wintertime. I like getting the dirt under my fingernails. I like getting, I like pinching the suckers off of my tomato plants. I like, just getting in and just getting things, getting down and dirty and sweaty in the garden. I love it. And it can't be beat.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you, for me, when I had a family here at the house, I had the same situation you had. I had the garden, I had good people here at the house taking care of me. But on my own, what I found out is, those long summer days that don't start getting dark till like 9 p.m., I'd grab my fishing pole. I'd go out to Lake Frederick and just stand there on the lake, watching the sun go down, watching the water skimmers. Even if I don't catch nothing, it's about as decompressing and relaxing for me as you could get.
There you go. Yeah.
Just to stand there when it's starting to just get a little cooler. You got your line out in the water. It's nice. So
nothing beats it, Jack. Absolutely
zen.
Right, man.
Very zen. Zen. It's
very peaceful.
All right, we got Dave Lyon again from all the way down in Australia, mate. He goes, I also want to know about Tater's nicotine-infused toothpicks. No way in hell that would be legal here in Australia.
Oh, man. So I recently found these toothpicks after a buddy of mine showed me this show on YouTube called Kill Tony. I'm definitely going to name drop them because that's how I found out about the toothpicks, because they are a sponsor of the show. So if you guys like stand-up comedy and you like humans being mean to each other in the all for the sake of entertainment, definitely check out that show. But I really like the toothpicks. Number one, because there's so many different flavors, and it really does crave the nicotine appetite. Like, I'm definitely a firm believer in, I don't like the smell of cigarettes or cigars. Yes, I'll partake in them, but when you're running route, I just feel like going up to clients' houses and just reeking of tobacco is just already kind of putting them off in an off-putting way.
It
So
is.
I would definitely recommend checking out the nicotine toothpicks. They're not going to tickle your butthole like a cigarette would, or maybe even a vape would, but it's a good alternative to get your fix and do it in a little bit healthier of a manner.
It takes the edge off. Yeah. Have you heard of? I didn't know this existed until probably just a few months ago. I was going through it's like a Reddit or something like that. Trucker picks. Basically, what they are and they don't, they're not legal or anything, but they're toothpicks infused in meth, or just basically amphetamines, and the trucking companies would give the truckers these fucking things. Go ahead, chew on those during your run, and kept these fuckers awake for days. And
damn,
yeah, and I guess that was a thing back then. And there's got to be some, like, nowadays with there's THC infused everything. There's got to be some THC toothpicks out there too.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, and caffeine and all that.
Dave, I might be sending you a box of toothpicks here.
There you go.
Sometime in the near future.
That's right.
You should definitely try them, man. They're great. I would recommend the bourbon flavored toothpicks.
Ooh, now you're talking.
It's very good. Wood bourbon.
Woodford Reserve. Okay. Rick, you want to take this one, Jack?
Yeah, Rick Wilhide, our good friend over servicing people in the Maryland area, says, which brings me to my question for Tater. What's the over-under on you having a child out there you don't know about?
My family loves to joke with me all the time. One of my ex-girlfriends that I had, let's see, I'm 28 right now. Ex-girlfriend from 6 years ago. She's a sweetheart. Absolutely wish her the best in life. But after we broke up, she got married to somebody else and had a kid. Because at that time, I knew she was baby crazy, and I also knew I wanted to move to Colorado, and she didn't. So we ended things, and she broke up and got married. And then as soon as she got married, she got pregnant, and all of my siblings and my mom were still friends with her on social media. And as soon as she posted the baby pictures, they all gave me the shit. They're like, wow, her baby looks exactly like you. And I'm like, that is bullshit, because the math is not mathing, folks. It's not mathing. Ain't my kid, I promise.
Let's face it, dude. Every newborn baby looks like a potato. So, I mean, I can see the confusion there.
Yeah, right. It's a tater, potatoes.
Yeah.
But that's definitely the closest I've ever been to it. If it ever came down to it, and one of my lady partners ever did get pregnant, I would be a man, and I want to be a piece of shit and not be in that kid's life, because I don't like people like that.
No, hell no.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, well, here we go again with Russell Goswiller. He's, you guys just need to get a room.
Dude, seriously, this is the most I have seen Russell contribute to Tales from the Crawl Space in a long time, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it.
He kind of ducked off of the depot for a while too, Tater, and
absolutely, he dropped off.
I was really happy to see him pop in on this and just be a very highly active participant in this question. So
I love Russell.
Russell, damn it, man, Russell is. I words cannot describe what I think of this guy. I mean, when the depot first came out and he got on it, he just came out of the gate, just fucking guns a-blazing. And
he's definitely in the Depot Hall of Fame, 100%.
His crusade of contempt is nothing short of legendary. He did take a position that kept him more in the rear with the gear, so to speak. But he's going to be getting back out now, he tells me, and the crusade of contempt goes on. So his question for you, the Tater, is what kind of workout do you perform? Do you prefer protein shakes? And does this help you with being the power bottom out there?
Well, it's funny that he ends the question like that, because most of my workouts are geared towards leg day, and I do that mainly because I want to pop a booty, but it really helps you with your job, especially as you get older, getting into this industry and still wanting to do it well. You have to have a strong core and legs, just because with how much bending down we do. We get on ladders, man. Like, you want a strong base. Like, I don't care if I ever have 6-pack abs or giant biceps, because those tools online are just that. They're tools, but I have a strong base, dude. And that helps you with life and this job specifically. So leg day all the way.
There you go. Yeah, I think I like to think that I have a strong core. It's just, surrounded in layers of human tallow, because I don't think I could do the work that I do out there because I'm climbing, I'm lifting, I'm crawling, I'm shimmying, I'm doing all this stuff. I'm just carrying around a lot of fat to do it, and I think it just makes those muscles that are deep buried within that fat all the better.
What I've always said is that I have a 6-pack. It just happens to be in a cooler.
There you go. Absolutely
amazing.
Oh, God, but you know what? And to me, it's like the work itself is my workout, and just because I am lugging all this extra weight around. As long as I keep doing it. I did have a big problem several weeks ago where I don't know if I ripped a glute or a hamstring or something, but it fucked me up for a few weeks, and I'm still kind of getting over it, but it's getting a lot better slowly but surely. I had rolled my ankle, and then when I did, my ankle wasn't hurting because I wear high tops and there's a lot of protection there. But I tried to correct myself with my left leg, and when I did, I brought it down to the ground too hard, and I just felt something go pop in my around my hipular area, and it just hurt like a bitch. I'm leaning up against a tree. I'm leaving a customer's house to see, like, you're okay. I said, it's just a part of getting old, man. It's like I just simpered back to the truck, and when I sat down, I felt like I was sitting on a softball, and it was like my ace muscle.
I would like
to
segue from that, Brad, just because I realize not everybody in the industry has the time that I do to go to the gym, because people have kids, wives, whatever. But I would definitely recommend, as people get in the industry and they start to age throughout the industry, your body will thank you if you get into some sort of consistent stretching routine. And this is not health advice. I'm not licensed to give health advice, but I will say, getting into a stretching routine, your body will thank you later down the long run.
I have been getting into that before I head out for the day, doing some stretches and stuff, especially down low with the legs and whatnot. And also my shoulder bothers me a bit too. I find that if I do some pull, hold on to something and like I'm trying to pull it down, that really brings me some relief in that, that and this.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you, the best shape I was ever in involved no gym, no nothing. I was installing carpet back in my 20s, and I worked for a commercial company. We do empty homes. We do like 300 square yards of carpet a day, which is a lot of fucking carpet. Yeah, and between carrying the carpet and the pad in and swinging the hammer and nailing the tack strips, kicking carpet in is like doing crunches for 12 hours a day. You could bounce a fucking quarter off my abdomen. Back those days, my ass was in good shape. And I had the stamina too. My poor girlfriend, I tell you, I used to wear that shit out.
Well, Jack, if I maybe end up seeing you at Pest World in Denver this year, we might have to test that theory.
I'm going to have to look into flights out there. I'm going to have to look into flights to get out there for Pest World. Take a bunch of business cards, get some stickers, more stickers made, and get out there and whore out the podcast.
Oh yeah,
because once the fun stuff of Pest World gets done, you and me are going to drive in and hit the town.
Hot damn, that sounds good. All right, we got Daryl Harvey, the illustrious Daryl Harvey.
Daryl
says, question for Tater. If you're able to play Major League Baseball, what would your walk-on music be, and why would it be It's Raining Men?
Oh, my God. I that would honestly be a great song to walk out to, because I would immediately get into the other team's head. If I had a second song that I would walk out to, it would definitely be 3-6 Mafia. Somebody's gonna get their ass kicked.
Love it. Fucking love it.
Mine would be Walking on Sunshine from Katrina and the Waves.
Beautiful. How about you,
That's
Jack?
a good one.
I could just prance my fat ass right out there on the diamond.
Mine would be "It's On" by Korn.
Yes.
Or "Fucking Hostile" by Pantera.
Oh, damn.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the panel has one more question, and then the rest of the show is just me and Jack, buddy. All right.
Love it.
The other half, the dynamic duo, Brandon Norquist from North Bend, Oregon. Family Pest Control. By the way, guys, Brandon, Candace, I know you're listening. I love my swag.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you very, very much for that. That is outstanding. I am just beside myself with joy. And yes, I figured out the pin right away.
That pen writes so fucking smooth. It's amazing.
Oh, man. And the little, and it's my favorite kind of pin. It's the kind with the little rubber nib on it, so you can bounce on your fucking your screen, your phone screens and shit.
Yep. Jack, Brad, if you guys ever want to give me your address, I'd be happy to send you something too.
Oh, that'd be fucking awesome.
That'll happen. Yeah. Jack and I are swag whores, so yeah.
Yes, we are.
We'll take whatever. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, Tater, Brandon would like to ask how you hunt up new business as a solo operator. And I think you answered that earlier, with, whipping your dick out or something like that. But anyway, how do you drum up new business?
Yeah, so the earlier question, I was saying how I drummed up the blue-collar business by just going out to social events or bars. But when it comes to the white-collar business, I developed really good relationships with the property management and construction companies near me. And generally what happens is I do some really good work for them. And then I tell them, hey, if you have any other clients that are looking for pest control help or looking to switch companies, here's what I can do for you. Is we will go to their new client's house and do a inspection, and then generally I will kind of overshoot the initial starting cost just by a little bit. That way I can give a 15 to 20% discount and put in my write-up in a way that's basically stroking off the property management company or the construction company, being like, hey, just because of my great working relationship with property management ABC, you are getting a 20% discount. So it's kind of a win-win teamwork relationship where I make the management company look good, and in turn I'm giving a discount, but I'm not really giving a discount too much because I'm still overcharging a little bit for that initial, but it makes a great working relationship with those white collar contracts. And I'm really lucky to have the clients and the business contacts that I do have.
Very nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Work them motherfuckers, man. Work that shit.
Right. That's right.
Absolutely. And Paula Benedictine and I have had this conversation before and I know you guys have mentioned it on many episodes ago, like we're in a really unique position as an industry because one account you could go to could be somebody that's just really struggling in life and they just need a break, and in order for us to cut that break to them, you have to go to the next client that's doing extremely well in life and kind of get your money that way you kind of ebb and flow. And so if you have a company that's just completely hotlining every client for every penny they have, I mean, I personally don't think that's a good way to do business. Like there's some people that deserve breaks.
Oh yeah.
Oh sure
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Well, that is all of the questions of the panel. I would like to thank the panel for the questions that you submitted. I'm going to thank each of you individually. The panel consisted of Kevin Wilhite, Paula Benedict, William Huth, Dan Bird, Daryl Harvey, Candace Norquist, James Schultz, Brandon Norquist, Jason Justman, Russell Goswiller, Rick Wilhide, Mario Filippi, Dave Lyon, Madeline Leva, Jenny Wilson, Yoko, Nolan Gainey, Sarah Jessica Suklaw, Frank Matalsi, Michelle Cannell, and Brandon Norquist. Thank you, all of you, for your questions. That was you filled it. You helped us fill up the show, and for that we are eternally grateful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's been an honor answering all of their questions. Good
Absolutely.
people.
Now you get to answer some of ours, Tates.
This is what I've been waiting for. What do
right.
you guys want to know?
Okay, first off, I want to know something. If you were to order a tumbler from Tony Spangler at Spangler Arts, Tony Spangler tumbler, what would the image on the tumbler be besides Paula Benedict? Because there's only three of these, and you ain't getting one.
That's right.
Well, I have ordered from Tony, and I got the old school DDT symbol on Tony's
Nice.
tumbler, and I have engaged in some great conversation with some older folks with bringing the tumbler out, because they always came up and they're like, does that say DDT? And then I get to go into the brief lesson, which they probably know more than I do, because I'm talking to 60, 70, 80-year-olds about it. They're like, oh yeah, I remember that stuff. That was great. But if I had to order a second one, I would love to get a gag gift one and maybe get somebody dressed up in like a gimp suit on it.
Brad.
Okay. Nice. You want me dressed up in the gimp suit?
Oh
I could probably find a cheese bag that's good at Photoshop, Brad. Just put you on some just hot, skin tight, black fabric. Yeah. I could probably Photoshop it.
Ooh, yeah. Nice. Well, I'll tell you what, Tony also does AI, so anything's possible. But anyway, so yeah. So you got your tumbler. What do you think of it? It's pretty good shit, huh?
Oh man, it's great. I actually threw away my Yeti coffee mug that I used for many, many years, and only used Tony's tumbler specifically. And yeah, the Yeti is always the main brand, but I'm telling you guys, if you guys haven't gotten a tumbler from Tony Spangler yet, you need to, because it will change your life, whether you're putting coffee in it or liquor or bodily fluids after a long night. Like, it's a great tumbler. And don't forget the urethra sounding rod that it comes with.
Good call. That's right, buddy. The urethra sounding rod. It is made of a surgical stainless steel, and it is as straight as an arrow, so you don't have to worry about the edges of it catching up onto your urethral lining as you are slowly and sensuously inserting it into your pee-pee hole. It's long enough. This dude is long enough to reach even the deepest bladders. So I'm telling you what, man. If you are a person that is suffering from the scarring tissue of gonorrhea, or if you are a person who just really gets into this weird shit, I would say the cost of the tumbler alone is worth getting this surgical stainless steel urethral sounding rod. You will not be disappointed.
All right, my question: if and when I show up at the NPMA conference in Denver, what's our plan of attack for pimping the show? What's our plan? Are we going to divide and conquer, or are we going to have like one man holding the mic while another records while we talk to random people? I'd like to catch Austin Frischman and get an interview on the podcast with him. Dr.
He should
Cockroach.
be easy to catch. He's like, what, 180?
Yeah, he can't run fast.
He's only a little bit. He's only slightly older than me.
Yeah, yeah.
But what's our game plan?
Well, Jack, I think both ideas that you suggested we should implement at the beginning. Let's divide and conquer, throwing out swag, and then after that, I'd be willing to be your cameraman or something and follow you around and do the interviews. I feel like we could scrounge up something to get a little video element to it, and that'd be something that could really be good for the YouTube channel.
Hell yeah.
interviewing people, because like getting those little tiny microphones that people use on TikTok, like those things are not expensive, man. You just clip it to your interviewee's shirt. You have a microphone. We can film it all. And it would definitely help the podcast blow up even more than it has been. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make sure Pest World Denver is a huge success.
Hell yeah. Thanks for mentioning the YouTube thing. We just recently, just this past week, got ourselves on YouTube. We're at TFTC 2.0 on YouTube. You can find us. It's just static images of the show graphics with all the existing episodes we have. But since we have the option to add video now, we might just do a few video podcasts and we get those interviews on, like from the MPMA, we can get those videos on as well. So there's that.
That's going to be great, man.
Everybody can see my ugly ass on camera. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, well, they see you a lot on the reels when you do the ads for the show and stuff like that. So they are. That's great, man. I am really looking forward to our presence on YouTube. This is going to be we're going to take a breather, and once we come back, we'll be coming back guns a blazing. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm still imagining Brad in a neoprene gimp suit, and he farts and his ankles swell.
Stop it. You're making me all hot and heavy, and the show is almost done.
Yikes.
I can't be getting this too excited.
One dude that wore that one suit in the Grammys. Was it the Grammys? Oh, shit. I can't remember his name, but there was one guy that wore this like red suit, and it's like his ankles were like out the air. And oh, God.
You'd be the guy.
I can't fucking remember him.
You'd be the guy in the Foot Locker on Pulp Fiction.
That's right. I'll be the Gimp. Where's the Gimp? He's asleep.
Another legendary movie.
Wake him up.
Well, boys and girls, you do know that we are, like I said at the beginning of the show, we are on hiatus for February because we're fucking burnt out. We need to come up with some better ideas. And if you guys have ideas for shows, message Brad Harvey or myself and give us some ideas for shows you'd like to hear for the next year coming up, starting in March. But and we'll be working on ideas ourselves, and we'll try maybe work on some ideas for the YouTube channel as well. But we need to stop to get a better start. So
exactly. So and if you do need to reach me during the hiatus, and you need to use the U.S. mail, just make the envelope addressed to Brad Harvey, care of Betty Ford Clinic, and I'll probably get it. I'll get it on mail days.
Harvey. That's a mail, Harvey.
Oh shit!
I'm thinking about yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the break, but I'm looking even more forward to coming back.
Hell yeah, it's going to be a good year coming up, starting March. But we are earning some well-needed rest for February. But we picked the shortest month to not shaft y'all that much. So
yeah, because I know you guys' lives are a dark void without us every weekend. So we're going to be here for you, but we just need to detox.
Right.
Can I just say every week there's not a new TFTC episode, I strike out at the bar every single time. So you guys need to hurry up.
Okay, see, we got to do what we can to make sure Issa Tater keeps getting laid. So
yeah,
that's what we're here for, buddy. Well, hey, man, I appreciate endlessly how you coming on the show with us, and
oh hell yeah,
and during the gauntlet of questions that were thrown by an obviously mentally unstable panel, which is why we picked them.
Yeah, amazing questions.
You got it.
Want to get us out of here?
Yeah, why not? Jack, gonna miss you.
You'll still hear from me, goddammit. I'm like a boil. I keep coming back.
Thanks again, everybody. And on behalf of Issa Tater, my good buddy Jack, and all the cheese bags that make up Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, and Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. Have a nice February, folks. And until then, bug the fuck off.
Bug off.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Thanks for listening to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. You can find us on just about every single podcast outlet there is online. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll have a new episode next week. Don't forget, you can find us on Instagram at TFTC Podcast, on Twitter at Crawlspace Tales, and you can also find us on Facebook at the Pest Control Humor Depot. See you next week.